Hello everybody, what's going on? I want to share with you guys the best piece of dating advice, but not even dating advice, life advice. Let's get straight into it. Men have absolutely no idea what the majority of good women find attractive. The world is not a fucking MMO. You cannot min-max height, income. Women are fucking psychic, bro. They don't care about the color of your tail feathers. Coked up degenerates and religious psychosis get laid or have more loving relationships than you because that freak is living from his own center. You aren't. It does not matter that it is destructive or insane. It is his destruction, his own insanity. He is free and untamed. You do tricks learned from 4chan, Reddit, Tumblr, Discord, or whatever other nonsensical hive of rejects like a crippled and circus elephant. Just be yourself. Just be yourself. In Buddhism, there is a concept of the original face. It is who you were before you were born, before anything was imprinted on you, before you inherited all of the karma of circumstances. Most men walk around a compartmentalized mess, wondering why they feel like they are going crazy, wondering why creating more masks don't seem to resolve their misery. The drug addict, the criminal, the schizo, the artist, they've all at least glimpsed at their original face. Even if through a cracked mirror. That glimpse, that's it. That's swag. Women are not attracted to confidence. They are attracted to those who exist, who inhabit reality, their own reality. Not just a mirage that is shambled through whilst following another person's script. The Norse concept calls Hamingja, the power that radiates from people when they are aligned with their fate, their doom, their word. It is said to be impossible to fake. It was the electricity of one who had found their true word and was living it unashamedly. Warriors would switch sides mid-battle to follow someone with stronger Hamingja. Women do the same thing. What makes Achilles attractive is that he chose his own life, his own dharma, over a long and mediocre one. This is what women are attracted to. It is not that his life was glorious and that he was great, that is merely a consequence of him following his dharma. The Greeks called this thumos, the part of the soul that desires recognition and autonomy. Contemporary society destroys this in men, and it is a great shame, replacing it with domesticated good behavior. Imagine two guys, both neats. I don't want to work because I don't want to. I don't work and I hate myself for it. The first one has it, the latter does not. A man being submissive because it turns him on. Alpha. A man being submissive because he has emotional issues and feels bad. Cringe and beta. A man who is not working because he doesn't want to work. Alpha. A man who is not working and feels like a failure because of it. Beta idiots. An ugly man who doesn't give a fuck and owns it. Alpha. Into the minds like a man who slaves away because he wants to get enough money to cash out. Alpha. A man who slaves away because that's just how he was raised and slaving away gives him a sense of worth. Beta idiot. Men struggle with realizing that women are attracted to internal motivations and not external realities. You can have 100 men on paper, they're all the same, but 50 are internalized and 50 are externalized, and women will overwhelmingly go for the ones who are internalized, even if you made it like so the internalized men are less wealthy and less attractive. You can be the most submissive, effeminate man in the world and still have a big dick alpha mode energy if it's because you want it. You can be broke, ugly, awkward, whatever. That which is authentically yours will work without effort. Sure, some people won't like you. In fact, many people might not. But this increases the quality. You will get someone who will love you authentically and will not grow disappointed with you. The second you're doing anything because of some external pressure, because someone told you this is what women want, you're already fucked. You're gone. You're a spirit, and women can see spirits. Most men these days have sickness unto death. They are so fucking alienated that they have become hungry ghosts, walking dead. That's most men these days. And we all know it to be true. Women evolved millions of years to detect genetic fitness, and they think they cannot smell spiritual rot. That uncanny feeling they get around you is their soul recognizing that you don't have one. The nice guy is not nice. It is a simulacrum of niceness because he believes courtesy to be currency. When the social vending machine doesn't dispense pussy for masturbation, he rages and posts about how women are evil online. An actual nice person is nice because that is who they are. Women are keen about this difference. They can tell. They've likely been dealing with creepy freaks their entire lives. You want it to be about your height, your jaw, your money, your dick size, because deep inside you, you know that those absolve you of responsibility. It lets you tell the story of, it's not my fault. Oh, but it is your fault. Yes, this hurts. You cannot admit it, that you've been spiritually nurtured by society and you're walking around like an NPC following dialogue trees and working on algebraic logic. That would mean you need to actually do something hard. That means you need to dig your soul out from the shallow grave that you shot it into. Most men are doing all of these assortments of things for reasons that they're not working. Most men are doing all of these assortment of things for reasons that are not their own. Working jobs they hate for approval that they do not even want. Being nice to avoid conflict. Lifting weights because internet man told them to. Every single move calculated for external validation. You are the last man, comfortable, safe, optimized for intramarital social approval, and completely spiritually castrated. We have invented happiness, you say, yet women yearn for Zarathustra, for the one who creates his own world. This is why every girl has a story about falling for some insane artist or musician who lives in a van. They may have been bonkers, sure, but he was alive. Want to know why artists, musicians, druggies, and criminals can find love and you cannot? It is not because women are stupid or that they love suffering and danger. It is because those men, despite all their flaws, are living from their own center. And that is the single most attractive thing to many women that a man can do. They see the potential in them. Where those who have been successful on paper, yet have no potential, lack. One would be able to survive apocalypse, the woman thinks. The other would not. Those men's destructive lifestyles are authentic. Your safe lifestyle is performative. Tristan and Isidore did not fall in love because Tristan was a good provider or that he was tall and handsome, though he very well may have been. They drank a love potion, but what was the potion really to us? The disillusion of social identity. They were no longer knight and queen. They were just meeting raw and raw. That is what women want, not the social role you are playing, but what happens when all those roles dissolve. Tristan chose love and death over a safe life. That choice echoes in the blood of every woman. A jobless philosopher who genuinely does not give a fuck about money is infinitely more attractive than an insecure beta banker wanker who hates his life but likes his stupid BMW. The philosopher owns his reality. The banker is owned by it. Diogenes lived in a clay pot and told Alexander the Great to go fuck himself, and yet Alexander said, if I were not Alexander, I would want to be Diogenes. Women understand the difference between authentic power over performed power. Women are not attracted to what you have, they're attracted to why you have it. They can smell the difference between money earned from passion versus money earned from fear, muscles built from joy versus muscles built from insecurity, kindness from love versus kindness from manipulation, intelligence deployed freely versus intelligence performed for approval. Every woman has a PhD in reading the gap between who you are and who you are pretending to be. The only person you are fooling is yourself. This is evolutionary. For millions of years, picking the wrong mate meant death, not only for her, but for her offspring as well. Women have been equipped with exquisite detection from the difference between real strength and performed strength, real resources and borrowed ones, real protection and fake bravado. Their ancestors who could not tell the difference aren't anyone's ancestors because they never reproduced. The ones left are survivors who can smell authenticity like sharks smell blood. She's trying to change you. No, you fucking moron. She sees your potential and she loves you. When you're hunting, women love your chaos. When they love you, they want you alive and healthy. You've already passed the mate fitness ritual. you're in, for now. Men who cannot handle this are simply telling on themselves. They only process relationships as zero-sum power struggles because they've never experienced real love and care. Read the fucking Iliad. When Achilles loses Patroclus, he crashes the fuck out, sobbing, screaming, refusing to eat. The greatest warrior who ever lived, we are told this. Yet, this reveals something inherently true. Real strength includes the capacity for authentic and radical vulnerability. You can only be wrecked by loss if you were grounded in the first place. Modern men are so defended against pain, they've become defended against love. Women want to know you could be a thing. Could. Not that you are one, not even that you are trying to be one, just that potential exists, latent in your being, that if the world needed it, if she needed it, you could rise. Why do women still love Genghis Khan 800 years later? Read his biography. Orphaned, enslaved, betrayed, left for dead, he had every right to be the world's ultimate doomer. Your life is not even a fraction as terrible as his was. He said fuck karma and rewrote history. He did not start trying to conquer the world though. His conquest began with his conquest of surviving on his own terms. His conquest was merely what happens when someone with the infinite will meets infinite opposition. Women smell that potential in you and its absence. You must have what in Buddhism is called the beginner's mind, a mind with no preconceptions. Every woman is unconsciously asking, if civilization collapsed, could this man create his own place or would he just die? This hypothetical reveals who is running their own power versus those who have simply plugged themselves into the social matrix. It is not possible to fake potential. You cannot perform it. It either exists because you've maintained your inner light, or it doesn't because you try so hard to be what others want you to be. Stop asking, what do women want? Ask yourself, what do I want? And I mean really, really want. Not what you think you should want. Not what you are programmed to want. Not what would impress your parents, strangers on the internet, or your friends. What do you want? Most of you have no fucking clue. You're attracted to women who look like Instagram or TikTok girls because that's what you're supposed to want. You're pursuing careers that make you want to kill yourself because that's just how life is. You are performing a veneer of confidence because that's how people online said it works. Jean-Paul Sartre called this nonsense. Bad faith, pretending that you have no choice either which way to avoid even more terrifying responsibility of freedom. Either I have to or I must is a lie you to tell yourself. You either choose to be homeless tomorrow, pursue your passion, but you do not out of fear, which is fine. But stop pretending like it is not a choice. It is a choice, one that you have been actively making every single day. Women sense bad faith like animals sense earthquakes. Both relate to fundamental structural instability. Be real or die. Not real like, bro, I'm just being honest when you're being a dick. Real like aligned, grounded, centered, integrated. Real like the outside matches your inside and your actions reveal your desires. In the past, they used to say that a man's wordhood was misaligned from his deedhood, that they would lose their word and with that their luck. Most men's words and deeds are completely disconnected to the point where the majority of men have a stronger case of did than most people online saying they have it. You say you want adventure but choose security. You say you value freedom but build cages to live in. This disconnect is what makes you invisible to others. You are not whole and thus cannot be seen. Your careful externally maintained sanity is likely the most insane thing about you. Let me be clear, what we've been talking about, what women want, but this is not about women. This is about being a fucking human being, about being alive. This is about you. The woman part is what naturally happens when you decide to stop being a ghost and decide to step into being a human. I'll tell you guys, the more that I have slowly stepped into my authentic being, reconnected to who I was as a kid, the more I've found my purpose, the closer I've gone to that, the more miracles which seem to happen. You know, the more that I've stood up and that I've said the things that I want to say, the more I become a magnet to all good things. But I think there's a lot we can learn. I think all of us can learn from this piece of writing right here. Subscribe.